Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 14th episode of the Simply Mental podcast. Today, we are trying something new. We are doing an Instagram Live interview with Sara.
Hi.
So, do you just want to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, like your name, your title, and a fun fact about
Yes,
yourself?
for sure. So my name is Sara Milliken, and I am the current National American Miss Alabama. I actually leave in just a couple days to go compete at nationals. I'm very excited about it. A fun fact about me, I am a huge Swiftie. I love Taylor Swift. She's always been my favorite
Me
artist. So,
too.
love that.
Yeah, that is so exciting. I love that. Okay, so you're probably gonna get asked this a lot at nationals as well, but what do you have a platform? And if you do, what is
Yes,
it? And what do you like
yeah,
do?
for sure. So I'm actually blessed to have two platforms. One is one I've always been very passionate about. The other is one that just kind of fell into my hands. So the first one is the buddy system. 46% of seniors have reported a decline in their mental health since 2020. So being able to go in and connect with them and remind them that they still have a buddy. I go in and I offer treats. I offer fun games. Honestly, anything to keep that mental health going and, really making sure that they know that they are still loved and supported. And then, kind of my second one is my initiative, Watch Me Org, which is all about body positivity, self expression, and inclusion, and just really making sure that girls everywhere have a safe space to really grow.
I love that. That is so inspiring. So, my personal platform, the Inner Sunshine Initiative, is also it's for mental wellness and positivity. So we have a lot in common
Yeah.
there. So, how has pageantry impacted your mental wellness?
So for me, it's really given me a place that I can grow and find out who Sara is. Growing up, I didn't always completely know who I was. I didn't know how I could express my loud and big personality in a productive way. I was always more of a chatter. I love to talk, and having pageantry really gave me a place that, of course, I could talk and kind of have that moment where I could yap, so to say, especially an interview and personal introduction.
Yes.
So pageants really helped me find myself, and through that, of course, helps improve mental health and mental wellness as well. Having just a strong support system and being able to meet with other girls, uplift one another, I think having a community is such an important way to really improve mental wellness.
I totally agree because everybody needs someone to be able to lean on. So I think that's actually my favorite part of pageantry is the sisterhood
Yes.
and the community that you gain. So what is your favorite part of pageantry and the pageant community?
Oh, I know we just talked about it, but honestly, the sisterhood. And I used to be that person that every time I heard someone say that, I would kind of roll my eyes and be like, okay, come on. Like, I know you like
Yes.
that pretty dress. Like, let's be for real here. And it wasn't until I
Yes.
fully, like, indulged into it and learned about the connections we can make and the friendships we can gain that I was like, okay, actually, yeah, that is the best part. Being able to meet
Yeah.
girls at the state pageant and then go to nationals with them. One of my favorite memories from state was Brenna. She's the current Miss Louisiana. She was the first person I met at state. The second person I met was Lindley, and Brenna ended up being Miss Louisiana. Lindley ended up being my junior teen sister queen. So being able to meet those connections at state, now we get to go to nationals together and experience that. Not only that, but meeting girls from across the country, and now we get to
Mhm.
experience it together. I think it's just such a special thing. And, think about us here. Like, you're from New York, correct? Yes.
Yes.
So, New York, and then I'm from Alabama, two totally different places, halfway across the country from one another, but it gives us an opportunity to connect from pageants.
Mhm. Yes, and if it wasn't for pageantry, we wouldn't even know each other. So I think
Exactly.
that that's pretty amazing.
Truly.
And I I love like meeting people from all over and learning about like their lives and how things are different where they live. And so I think that like the pageant community really gives us space to provide that, and I love
Yes,
that.
for sure.
So what is your favorite competition at NAM?
That's a really, really tough one because I truly do love them all. I think right now, in this very moment, now if you ask me like 2 hours from now, I'll probably give you a different answer. But right now, I am loving personal introduction. I think because,
Mhm.
one, of course, I love to speak, but
Yeah.
also I'm just very proud of my personal introduction. Today, I had a coaching session and we were like, oh, okay, we nailed that. So I think it's finally at the point where I fully feel confident in it. So I'm really just relishing in that right now. But man, I love competing. I love all aspects of pageants and the optionals, the required competitions, all of them.
Yes, that is really great. Oh, personal introduction was my
Super
favorite
fun.
too. It's so fun. And also, we get like the opportunity to practice our public speaking, which is great because that's something you're going to use a lot through your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I feel like, yeah, maybe in school we'll do presentations, but you don't really get the opportunity to
For
practice these
sure.
skills.
And I think it's so important too because you get to practice really defining who you are and having an opportunity to speak on
Mhm.
that. Not very many times in life do people just hand you a microphone and say, okay, here's 60 seconds, talk about what you're passionate about. So it's definitely a cool opportunity to kind of guide a conversation and open up a bigger conversation as well.
Yes, definitely. And I didn't even like think about it that way because you I it's just really
Mm-hmm.
great to be able to like just and it also like gives you the opportunity to learn more about yourself as
Mm-hmm, for
well.
sure.
Because when I was competing at NAM, I didn't even really realize some of these things about myself until I was writing it down and creating my personal introduction and I was like, wow,
I'm pretty cool.
I yeah. Yes. So, what if there's one problem that you would solve in the world? Now, it could be like anything. What would you choose to solve?
I think, it's easy to say cyberbullying or bullying in general, but I think to sum it up, just having people be kind to one another. There are some
Mhm.
people in the world that are so torn on tearing people down. And I think it's important that we continue to uplift each other. Look, we're all humans trying to figure out the same world. We only get one chance on this earth, and we're all just trying to figure it out. I think that we should be more graceful for people. I think that we should continue to practice kindness. So I think we could probably sum that up with bullying, but overall, just being more kind.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And especially being someone who has struggled with bullying through my years in school and even outside of school, online and friendships too, honestly. I think that that's a big one as well. What is your best tip for someone who is maybe new to pageantry or is competing maybe at nationals or maybe it's their first time competing or just a tip for someone who's competing in pageantry?
I would say be willing to trust the process. Trust the journey that you go on. Everyone has a different journey in pageant. Some girls win their first title and they continue to win every title after that. Some girls, for me personally, it took 8 years to even wear this crown and banner. And knowing that everyone goes on their own journey, everyone's going to compete at their own scale. They're going to earn their titles or earn this accomplishment at their own pace in their own time. There's nothing wrong with it taking 8 years to win your first title. There's nothing wrong with winning your or your title on your first try. I think just really knowing that what's going to happen will happen for a reason. If it's meant for you, it will not pass you by. So just trust the journey and continue to enjoy it while you're on it.
Yes, I totally agree. And it's taken me even a little while to earn a title because I started competing when I was 8, I believe, and I've had a lot of challenges along the way, and I'm sure you have too. And there's been setbacks, but overall, the experience is is and that's why I continue to keep going is because I just love all of the opportunities. I love competing. I love meeting new people and I just love having like a space to show off my personality.
Yes, I totally agree. If it had taken me 8 years, I would not have met the friends that I've met. And honestly, I
Mhm.
think back to the moment I won and how truly the best part was celebrating with all my friends afterwards. And I'm like, okay, I think I was supposed to gather all these friends and have them here to celebrate this win for me. And I told myself there's a lot of reasons. I look back and I'm like, okay, this is why it took 8 years. This is why it didn't happen for 15-year-old Sarah. And just knowing that truly everything does happen for a reason.
Yes, yes. And I'm not sure about you, but I'm very
Yes,
religious. And so, okay, yes. So I truly believe that it's always just a part of God's
100%.
timing. And one of yes, and one of the great things I love about USA National Miss is that it's a faith-based community and a faith-based system. So we all have very similar beliefs, and I just remember that at States it was just a group of us girls, and we were just sitting there and we were praying and we were like, please help us do our best. And that was one of the greatest experiences I think I will ever have.
Yes, we had a similar experience at state too. Right before the finale, we all gathered around and we made like a prayer and affirmation circle. So my predecessor, she prayed for us, and then we went and we said something positive to the person to the left of us, and then something positive to the person to the right for us. And it was such a great way to, I think, kind of remind everyone that no matter the outcome and no matter what happened next, one, God has a plan for you, and number two, that
Yeah.
you are still just as beautiful and worthy, and other people see and recognize that, even if it wasn't your time for the judges to say, all right, she's the one that gets the crown today. I think, pageants just really give us such an amazing platform to do things like that.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree. And I love that. I'm gonna bring that to nationals with
Yes,
me. And you should
yes,
too,
yes, yes, I
because you're
hope I get
national.
to do it.
Yes, that's so exciting. Oh, I'm so excited for you to go to
Thank you,
nationals.
thank you.
You have to tell me how it goes though,
Yes, for
though.
sure,
Don't
for
forget.
sure.
But I will be watching as well. So, what is your best tip for someone who is facing mental struggles?
To know that number one, that it's okay to ask for help. I have kind of a back and forth kind of process when it came to my mental health. So I always said I think I really started struggling with mental health when I was in high school, and I didn't realize what it was because I am kind of old, so I'm 24. Mental health was not a topic that teens were talking about when I was in high school. It was something very hush hush, something that you almost had to feel ashamed about. And I didn't get the opportunity to know that this is what I was struggling with. I wasn't just sad. I mean, I was actually depressed. And knowing that, one, it was nothing to be ashamed of then. Number two, it's okay to ask for help, even if you don't know what it is that you're struggling with. If you know you're feeling something that isn't right, be your own advocate and trust your own gut and reach out for help. Number two, there are brighter days ahead. I One of my worst bouts with depression was actually when I lost my dad 3.5 years ago. And I just think about all the times that I wondered, is this ever going to get better? Is life ever going to feel normal again? And, I kind of told myself, like, no, life never will be normal again, but it will be okay again. And if you're
Yeah.
going through something traumatic like that, or whether it's just dealing with depression for, any reason, I mean, it's simply a chemical imbalance in your brain. You don't have to have a reason to feel depressed, but just trusting that no matter
Mm.
what the situation is, it will be better and there are brighter days ahead.
I love that. And that was really inspiring to just like, so for me, I lost my grandfather a few
Oh, I'm
years
so
back. I think it
sorry.
was 3 years
Mm-hmm.
ago as well. And so I grew up pretty much without a father figure in the home. So he was really who I had. And so it was upsetting, and I was kind of feeling the same thing. I was feeling depressed, and I was feeling, is this ever going to be okay again? Am I ever going to get through this? But here I am, and I feel that I am the happiest that I've ever really been in a long, long time. And you just have to keep pushing, you just have to keep going. And you will have ups and downs. There will be great days and there will be really bad days. But you just have to just keep going and believe in yourself and believe in the world and believe in God if that's what you believe in.
Absolutely.
And just keep going. So, how do you promote positivity into your everyday life?
So for me, social media was somewhere that felt very toxic at a point in my life. You know, people tearing me down and seeing others people be torn down on social media as well. So I really try to create a positive space on the internet. I do this through my title holder account and also through Watch Me Org. We have an Instagram. I also have a website called watchmebysara.com. And just making sure that I am pouring positivity, whether it's a reminder that, you know, we decide how our day goes. You know, you can have a great day or not. I'll be honest, it poured here in Alabama today. I felt like every time I looked out the window, it was pouring rain. I had so many errands to do. I got soaking wet at Walmart trying to buy those last minute pageant essentials. My dog got not a very good haircut today. Like all these little things were going wrong. And, you know, it's so easy for us to get caught up in that and to really let that ruin our day. But I kind of reminded myself that it's up to me to decide how this day goes. So I can calm down, not get consumed in it. You know, hair grows back, clothes dry, and a bad day doesn't last forever. And just reminding myself of that and making sure that, you know, I'm putting that on the internet as well. And I posted, we have a NAM social media challenge. So every day in November has a different prompt. And today was posting the most recent photo in your camera roll, I want to say. And I took this cute little selfie right before I left for this crazy errand day. And I was like, oh, I'm going to post this. And I had it typed up, and then in the middle of it is when I got rained on. So I was like, actually, let's back it up. We got to take like
No.
a before and after. I think just keeping it real on social media, reminding people that, hey, Miss Alabama gets rained on too. Everybody has those days. And
Yes.
I think when you see that, it's really important for others to know that it's okay.
Yes. Oh, that sounds rough. But, you
Yes.
made it through. You're here. You made it. So that's what's important. And I think I only really have one more question for you. What is one mental wellness related struggle that you overcame, and how did that make you feel?
So I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression in 2021 when I lost my dad. He passed away in April of 2021, and it wasn't until December of 2021 that I got that diagnosis. So, like I said earlier,
Wow.
um, not knowing that it was okay to ask for help and just not fully understanding the resources that were out there. For me, finally being at a point where I have this saying, and it's I don't know when my April 6th is going to be, so I'm going to live each day like it's my last. And April 6th was the day my dad passed away, and he passed very unexpectedly. If you would have told us April 5th that what April 6th was going to bring, we wouldn't have believed you. It was that kind of unexpected. And I think just knowing that I came out on the other side of that happy and living a life that my dad would want me to live, living a life full of happiness, of loving and cherishing my family like never before. Ultimately, 3 years later, going back to National American Men's after an 8 year break and going to compete for him because I know that I don't want to look back and say I wish I would have done this. And knowing that I found the gifts in grief and knowing that I found the positivity in a really bad situation is something I'm proud of. And I think I've been able to really carry that into all aspects of life.
That's amazing. And I'm so glad that you have been able to do that because I I also struggle with anxiety and depression. And I feel that I've gotten a lot better now, but I always have my ups and my downs. And I have my moments where I do have really bad anxiety and I do have really bad depression. But overall, finding positivity, and I've followed you for a little while now since you got crowned, and I was just so like amazed and so proud because I saw your story, and I I thought it was really amazing that you were able to really just achieve what you have been working so hard for, especially because I also I I started competing with NAM, and it took me a while. I'm gonna go back probably eventually. I don't know when, but not until I'm done with this. But I know that for me, it was hard every time that I didn't bring home the crown, but watching you be able to bring home the crown after it took you years just inspired me. And so I tried USA National Miss, and I love it. And so I just found my way back to pageantry.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. And I'm so glad you shared that. I was actually speaking with someone today that for so long I was so ashamed of not winning on my first try or even my second try. And I kind of
mhm.
thought that to back it up, like I didn't just not win, like I didn't even place at the state pageant. I didn't place in the top 10. And I thought that really defined me for so long. And I see now that as I hold this title, it's something that I'm so proud of because it's such living proof that when you believe in something and you're passionate about it and you're willing to work for it, it is possible. And I know there's so many girls out there that dream of that state title, you know, whether it's for National American Miss or USA National Miss or honestly so many different pageant systems. And I think it's so important to have role models like yourself that are so willing to share that story and say that, you know, keep going, keep trying for it if it's something that you really want. um, it's just something very special.
Yes, and so I also, my first time I did not get top 10, and my second time I at NAM I got better and I did place top 10. But then COVID hit, and then when my third time I backtracked and I didn't place top 10 that time either. And then I took a break, and then I tried UNM, and I did win my first try with UNM, which was actually very like amazing for me because I I struggled so much with not winning my first time or my second time or my third time in NAM, and being able to just prove to myself that I can accomplish anything I set my mind to, no matter how challenging it can be, was just a great enlightening moment for
For
me.
sure. And now you
So,
got a testimony, girl.
yes, yes. So, does anyone in the chat have any questions for either me or Sarah? Also, for nationals, what competition are you most excited for?
Hmm. This is so tough. Honestly, really excited about intro because, like I said earlier, I love my intro. But I'm also
Yes.
very, very excited for formal wear. One, because it's our first required competition. But number
Mhm.
two, I'm very excited to show off this dress that I've been teasing and posting little Easter eggs for months now.
I know. I have seen, and I have been like, I was dying to see it. And so I'm so excited.
Leaving all the Easter eggs. Like
But
I'm so excited also to be like, look, this is everything I left. Y'all didn't catch on to my little crumbs.
yes, I know. And I think that's like so, like just having the anticipation
Hmm.
is so, but I'm just so excited to see everyone compete at nationals, see how everything goes. And I know that you're going to do amazing. And
Thank
I
you
know
so
that
much.
everyone else is going to
And
do
I
amazing
can't wait to
too.
cheer you on in July, correct?
Yes, July. Thank you. So, my mom actually, she said, Sarah, I just want to say you are incredible.
Oh, thank you so much.
And then the NAM, ooh, what is MS? Minnesota?
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Oh,
The NAM Mississippi Miss said, I don't have a question, but I love this. Y'all are so amazing. Oh,
oh,
thank
thank
you.
you. I think that's Jakinia, ain't it? The name MS Miss?
It doesn't say a name, it just says the
Okay,
NAM
yeah, I think
MS Miss.
that's Jakinia. Hi. I love her. Another sister queen that's so grateful to gain from the state pageant.
That's so great. Oh, I love that. Oh, and she said yes. So,
I'm not getting comments on my end for some reason, so I can't.
okay, I'll read them. Sarah, how old were you when you first started pageants?
I was 15 years old. I got that classic like letter in the mail. Um,
Me
I
too.
love it, love it, love it. I love how so many girls have that same story. But I was 15, went to
Yes.
the open call, and I just knew it was like finding a home. So I started when I was 15 and
Mhm.
competed for 2 years, and then came back when I was 23. I'm 24 now. I just turned 24. So kind of 3 years
That
combined, all in total. That started when I was
that's so
15.
exciting. We have a very similar experience.
Yeah, for sure.
I got my letter in the mail at 8. I competed for 2 years, and I had to take a break because of COVID, and then I went back in 2021, and then I had to take another break, and well, now I'm here with USA National Miss. I love it. And so yeah, that's pretty great. But yeah, I also had the like iconic letter in the
I love
mail.
it.
Ooh. You are so
Oh,
inspiring. That's
thank
from my mom as
thank
well.
you, thank you, thank you. You raised a wonderful daughter.
Thank you. Yes, she did. She is amazing. I love her. So, do you have any questions?
Just are you excited for nationals?
I'm so excited for nationals. I've actually never been to a national pageant.
Same, me either. So
So,
twins.
oh, so that'll be great. And I know that yours is Thanksgiving, like Thanksgiving week. So, are you doing the Thanksgiving banquet?
I am. I said this is my
Oh,
one and only chance to go as a state queen, so I'm gonna try it out.
yes, that's so exciting. I love that. And I bet the food will be really good too.
I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. If not, it's an excuse to wear a cute little black dress and dress up and spend time with family. So I'm excited.
Yes.
I've been planning everybody's
Yes, that
outfits.
is really great. Yeah, I love that. That's great. I think that's it
Yeah.
then. So we're just going to wrap this up with a quote that is by Aristotle. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. And I think that that actually fits with a lot of the
Yeah,
things that we talked
for
about
sure.
today. Is just finding the light in the dark moments and finding the positivity out of your rough days, no matter how rough it could be. Just trying to find the good
Yes,
and the bad. So,
for sure.
well, thank you for joining me. It was so amazing to meet you, and I hope you have the best time at
Of course.
Nationals.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
And we have to keep in touch
Yes,
and let me know how Nationals
yep,
goes.
definitely will. Yes.
But okay. Well, thank
Of
you.
course. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you for the next episode.